My name is CXCD, and it appears that I have been transported to the year of our Lord 1989, judging by this vintage, or should I say brand new, Nintendo Game Boy. Yo, that's the Pony movie! There they are! So, seeing as I'm trapped in the year of our Lord for the foreseeable future, with the only thing that I've brought being my laptop, I might as well take the time to make a video. So as you more than likely know, back in 2024, Make Your Mark is most likely dead and buried. Which stinks because it feels like Make Your Mark was just starting to get good. It is pretty easy to look in from an outsider's perspective and say, no, Make Your Mark's not dead, but they just introduced a new villain. But from Hasbro firing their own staff to internal rearrangements, it's pretty safe to say that Make Your Mark is either on the very back burner, or just more than likely dead. Besides all of the leaks and rumors we've heard, and besides the absolute radio silence we've heard on Chapter 7, if there's even gonna be one, it gives a pretty clear outline on Make Your Mark's future. So now what? Make Your Mark is dead. The main show is dead. Is the fandom gonna dissolve in 30 years time? Are we all gonna lose our jobs? Dear Lord, am I gonna have to make content that's not pony related? Well, fret not, because although Make Your Mark is dead in 30 years, Tell Your Tale isn't. Tell Your Tale, if you don't know, is a show entirely composed of recap clips. I feel like I'm bending over a lot, but I'm scared I'm gonna go out of frame if I don't bend over like that. If the top of my head is clipping out of frame, then I'm sorry. Tell Your Tale gets a pretty bad rap for being literal Gen Z bait, while Friendship is Magic and even Make Your Mark to a certain extent appeals to a much wider audience, hence people like me. Tell Your Tale really isn't any of that. It's very bright, popping colors, fast action, and honestly, very little plot other than haha look funny moments. And to be fair, Tell Your Tale did have some moments. Like, for instance, in episode 63, where we get a very touching moment between Alphabettle and Misty, where you're meant to kind of realize that Alphabettle quite literally missed Misty's entire childhood because she was kidnapped. People argue with me saying that Opaline didn't really kidnap Misty, but like, come on. If you find a child out in the middle of the woods, are you not gonna at least try to find her parents? That's basically as bad as kidnapping. Long story short, Tell Your Tale isn't really known for pushing the plot forwards. At best, these 5-minute clips are just simple recaps. My back hurts so much for bending over like that. Should I lean up against this cabinet like this? Is that better? Hello. Oh, it's making cracking sounds. At best, the episodes are just one big recap of what's happened in the main Make Your Mark show. And here's actually a really funny thing. Episodes 67 and 68 of the Tell Your Tale show came out before the same respective episodes in Make Your Mark. So episodes 67 and 68 were recap episodes of events that haven't happened yet, aka giant freaking spoilers. But my friends, I'm here to tell you that the tide is turning. While Make Your Mark is most likely dead, that means that Tell Your Tale is the sole pony provider for the next foreseeable future, and that means that Tell Your Tale is picking up the reins of actual plot and story. Because last year, it was announced that Tell Your Tale will be getting a second season. Pretty good for a 5-minute clip show, right? And the first season lasted for well over a year and a half. So I'm just saying, at the very bare minimum, we probably have about a year and a half of pony content left. And then the well runs dry. What happens then? I don't know, and I don't think I want to be there for that. We only panic when there's no more pony, and we watched all of the pony. In case you couldn't tell, Season 2 is out now, and it's very obvious that Tell Your Tale is picking right back up where Make Your Mark left off. Unlike Season 1 of Tell Your Tale, it's doing plot things. It's pushing the plot forwards. Unlike Season 1, which didn't. Take, for instance, my personal favorite Tell Your Tale episode so far, Season 2, Episode 4, Rocky Loves Jazz. Well, I mean, the YouTube title is a heart emoji, so I assume that's what that means. In it, two of my personal opinion best characters ask each other out. It's still the same kind of format, haha, funny moments, but that's pretty major. That's just something that can't be, you know, retconned in the main show, right? If there ever is a main show anymore, oh god. It's plot and character development. And although I don't know much about either of those things, oh my god, I'm pretty excited for that. And now, time for the reason why I'm really making this video in the first place. Episode 5 of Season 2 is crazy. To be fair, the episode doesn't really have much story other than Misty finding a strange door and trying to find her way out. But this entire episode is just one freaking big setup. Just a big setup for whatever's gonna come next. Who really knows anymore, am I right? And that's something I want to look at, because in this episode, there's actually a lot of very strange and cool hints I don't know what it's hinting, but we're gonna go over it now. It would've been really good if I had the episode itself up on this TV, but you know, 40 years ago, am I right? The episode begins with Misty getting harassed by a strange notebook that's flying around in the air. And eventually she is, on her part, accidentally on the book's part, probably on purpose, flung into a magic door. Misty is now in a hallway with very interesting paintings adorning each wall. And these paintings are really interesting because these are really the first time we get to see events that happened outside of G5, which is crazy to think about. And if you know anything about Generation 5, you'll know why the legal system is getting in the way of this. We don't see anything that happens after Season 4 because Discovery Family owns Season 5 onwards, which means that a lot of the big events that happen later in the show, like, for instance, and then, you know, stoning a literal filly, a child, we don't get to see any of that. Instead, we get to see some earlier season things. We see Twilight and her friends vanquishing Nightmare Moon from the Season 1, Episode 2 episode, Friendship is Magic. Wow, how creative. We also see Shining and Cadence defeating the Changelings. And as you can see, it gets a little bit tricky with who owns what of MLP, because now we're on a Generation 1, which I think is personally kind of strange how that's out of order, because I assumed that these paintings were ordered in chronological order, not that would mean that Generation 1 comes after Generation 4. I guess it's possible, but like, no. Generation 1 paintings are defeating Tyrek and defeating the Shmooze, which by the way happens in this movie. I don't think we'll be able to get to it in time by the time I hopefully get out of here and finish recording. The last visible painting is this one. It looks as if there might be another painting off to the side here. The last painting, however, is honestly quite strange. I mean, it's obviously G5, right? There's Pip and Zip and all of them. And I originally assumed it was meant to be the reunification of the tribes, you know, Sunny's ascension. But upon a closer look, why are there these crystal pillars here? And is this a tsunami? Like, am I missing important context here? Misty gets led to another room where she is unknowingly able to control the functions of the Crystal Bright House. And hey, look, by the way, another painting, this time a flag. It's a very old flag of Celestia and Luna turning Discord into a statue. The first time. And I would like to take a moment to emphasize that this flag looks old. The other paintings back there didn't, and might have just been created for this one room, honestly. But specifically, this flag looks old and worn. It's like its colors have long since been faded with time. Maybe this flag was created back when Discord first turned to stone, or maybe it was taken from the ruins of Canterlot Castle. I just think it's very interesting and strange why this flag specifically is old and worn, while the other paintings are bright and brand new and presumably painted just for Misty in this one room. Or at least, I guess those paintings could also just be really well kept care of because it's like a magical dimension. I assume they have very tight humidity control in a dimension. Also, did I say there's another painting off to the side that we couldn't see? Well, I lied. We can barely see it past Misty's shoulder here. And interestingly enough, it's of Misty herself. Apparently, Misty finding this room was enough of an event to be next to the likes of Nightmare Moon, the Changelings, and the Shmooze. The episode ends with Misty getting basically like a key to come back to this room whenever she wants. And the future lies in Misty becoming a mage of some kind, or a wizard, or whatever. I don't know what the pony equivalent is. Archcaster, master. Tell Your Tale is starting to feel a lot like how chapter 4 and 5 and 6 felt of the main show, where almost feels like now there's a lot of weird red herrings just spread across the entire episode that on a first watch don't make sense, but I feel like if we watch more of the show, we can come back and be like, oh yeah, now that makes sense, right? Like, why is there a flag of Celestia and Luna here? I don't understand. Please, Hasbro, for the love of, I know we're in 1980s America here, but I'm gonna use the G word. For the love of God, please give us 22-minute long Tell Your Tale episodes. I know there's 22-minute long Tell Your Tale specials coming, but in my humble opinion, that's not the same as actual 22-minute long dedicated seasons, okay? Please just go back to the way Friendship is Magic was. It was that way for a reason. Oh my God, the Shmooze! The Shmooze are here. I didn't even realize it was going on behind me. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say today, and that's all I got time for. I believe my time machine is kicking me back up. But what do you guys think? There's some really weird, like, setup going on here that I'm very interested to see how it pays off. Oh, I believe that's my time machine. I'll see you guys later. Also, did you think that my laptop had my script on it? It's just more pony! It's just more pony, and it's just gonna be more pony, mother.